These are the PBA players who should have made it to the NBA. Ricardo Brown had a stellar 2-year career at Pepperdine. In the 1979 NBA draft he was drafted 59th overall by the Houston Rockets. But Brown flew over to the Philippines in 1982, and entered the PBA a year later. He was named MVP in 1985. By then the quick Brown Fox was 28, and looked content playing in his home country. Brown would go on to be one of the PBA's greatest players. Yet it is fair to wonder what could have been had he focused on making the Rockets roster in 1979. Allan Caidic is the greatest Filipino shooter ever. He once hit 17 treys in a PBA game, from 27 attempts. There is no doubt the triggerman would have been a great marksman in the NBA, too, mainly because shooters will always have a place in the NBA. Steve Kerr, Del Curry, and Jason Capono were all great shooters, but offered little else. Yet each played over 10 seasons in the NBA. Shooting is a premium in basketball, and Caidic should have been shooting the lights out in NBA arenas in his prime. Johnny Abarintes was only 5'7", but he was Asia's best point guard in the mid to late 90s. He had an uncanny feel for the game, and a nearly automatic mid-range jumper. Then Charlotte Hornets consultant Joe Betancourt took notice. He scouted the Flying A, and came away impressed. There were even plans for Abarintes to sign a 10-day contract with the Hornets, but the plan never materialized. Had Abarintes gotten that 10-day contract, chances are he'd do enough to win a roster spot. Prime Mark Caguioa was a natural scorer, with a good three-point range. He had previously starred at Glendale Community College in the U.S., before coming to the Philippines in the 2001 PBA draft. Since then he has become one of the league's best, twice averaging over 20 points in a season, 20.6 in 2005 to 2006, 24.6 in 2006 to 2007, and winning MVP honors in 2012. Rumor has it that longtime NBA scout Jim Kelly was impressed by Caguioa's game, but ruled his lack of height at 6 feet flat. Gabe Norwood famously helped George Mason University reach the 2005 to 2006 NCAA Final Four. Norwood recalled the experience with Fox Sports Philippines, calling it an accomplishment in itself, and Norwood was a big part of it as George Mason's sixth man. At 6'5", Norwood best approximates the size of Jordan Clarkson, a proud Phil-M who has made it to the NBA. Clarkson is the third ever NBA player with Filipino blood, and Norwood should have joined him in that list. But Norwood chose home. A move to the NBA is moot now, with Norwood soon to turn 35. But his savage slams against Argentina in the 2014 World Cup are reminders that MR presidents should have played in the NBA. The PBA has seen its fair share of athletic players. None was as athletic as Kelly Williams. He was solid in his 4 years playing at Oakland University, where he emerged as one of the team's top rebounders. At 6'6" with elite athleticism, Williams looked like an NBA player. But in 2004 Williams accepted an invitation to try out for the Philippine national team, and he has never looked back. Even so, Williams should have brought his high-wire act to the NBA, where he'd be a prototypical wing. At his best, Jayon Castro was Asia's point guard. Coach Charlie Parker of Chinese Taipei has seen Castro's greatness up close, and he believes the blur is NBA material. Unfortunately, Castro's past his prime, but his performance at the 2014 World Cup was something special. It also left no doubt that he should have been in the NBA.